If you weren't in school, if you weren't in college, what would you be doing? Besides, something exotic. Most people, if they're not in school, they'd be working. They'd have a full-time job, 9 to 5. And so what we recommend is that you think about school as your job. It is your job. Honestly, for the next 4 or 5 years you're here, it is your job. And so if you think about taking a block of time, 9 to 5, if 9 isn't your time, it could be 10 to 6, but you take that block of time and you block it off, and that's when you're working. So you're either going to class, and if you're not in class, instead of going back to your room or your car and taking a nap, use that time. Use that time in the library, use that time with errands. And I've also heard people say, well, I only have an hour, I can't really get anything done. Oh yes, you can get something done in that hour. You can, even if it's just a chapter or a half a chapter, or writing flashcards, if that's a good way for you to study, you can actually get a lot done by using all your time. And if you use that 9 to 5 time, or again, 10 to 6, you'll find that by the weekends you don't have hours of work to do. You'll still have work to do, but it won't be the whole weekends. You'll have time to schedule in other things as well. Again, avoid creating impossible situations, waiting to the last minute and saying, oh my goodness, I've got 16 chapters to read and it's 3,000 pages, right? That's impossible, so if you, again, break it down into smaller sections. Identify your best time of day and use it. Don't identify your best time of day as being 8 o'clock at night and then end up saying, well, that's the time I'm going to spend with my friends. It's wonderful, but it's the best time for you and for them, but that's the time that you want to really focus in on your projects. Avoiding distractions. Anybody like to study in their room?
No.
No.
I have to be here.
You have to be here. But you know that, which is the first step, which is wonderful. Many times people try to study in their room and they don't understand, why can't I study in my room? Even if it's quiet. Well, there's other things in your room. There's the PlayStation, if that's still applicable. There's your computer with the Facebook. There's the phone. Hey, there's your bed. That's the other thing. So, you know what? I'm just going to read on my bed. The next thing you know, I'm reading an app. So you want to make sure that you really know what your distractions are and change your environment. So if you can't study in that particular place, change it. And of course, this room and the new room over the student computing and faculty computing have done wonderful things about creating spaces on campus where you can sit and you can talk and you can study and you can rest. So if you don't think it's best in your room, feel free to use all the other facilities on campus because they're really here for you, and that's what it's about. So avoiding those distractions and be prepared. There's nothing worse, and I'm sure you've all done it. I know I have. I'm ready. I'm packing up. 9 o'clock in the morning is my best time of the day. I'm going to the library. I get to the library. Oh, forgot my book. Got to go back, get my book. So really try to be prepared ahead of time so you can really do that. And then again, using your waiting time. Just so that you know, they say, I've got the list here. According to an efficiency expert, Michael Forentino, in a lifetime, the average American will spend 7 years in the bathroom, 6 years eating, 5 years waiting in line, 5 years. 3 years in meetings, 2 years playing phone tag, 8 months opening junk mail, and 6 months waiting at a red light. Now, I'm not suggesting that when you're waiting at a red light that you're doing anything else except paying attention to the road. But the other times, if you're waiting in line, if you're waiting for an appointment, if you're waiting for a professor, if you're waiting for a doctor, that's the time to have something in your bag. Again, I know flashcards aren't necessarily the coolest thing to carry around with you everywhere, but you can put them even on your phone sometimes and use those kinds of things so that you're able to use them. Every time you're waiting, use it, if it's between those times, use it so that it's good time. It's time that you're able to reread something. I understand that chances are if you're waiting in line, you're not carrying your textbook, but certainly now there's textbooks online. It makes it a little bit easier for you to have access. And wait time, you're going to spend a lot of times waiting, so it's a really good thing to have something with you.